just when you think it was safe to go inside, I was out chipping again today. I had 5 more piles, not quite as big, well, pretty good size, not quite as big as the ones in the last video with the cover off on the Belt Dynamics one, but I got it, I had down to where I only had maybe 2 more arm loads to put in, and then it's like, it just made a funny noise, and then it's like, I thought, well, damn, I got a jam, because I was, I looked inside and the drum wasn't moving. I thought, oh crap! So I killed the engine, and get out my wrench, the dog bone, and start taking off the little plate so I can roll it. And it was like there was no resistance. There was no nothing in there jamming it up. And then I happened to look over the top of the engine as I was rolling it around, and I could see the outside hub of the clutch wasn't turning, and I thought, oh no. So I get my wrench and I take off the belt cover, and we'll go over to where I've got it laid out to show you what I found. And this is what I found. The one belt, I don't know if it was the outer, they both came off, had just died, and let me get in close here. You can see it's just chewed up the ends. I've got pieces that came off. It didn't just, it just blew apart. I'd smelled some heat. It builds up too much heat in there, and I'm going to make get some expanded metal and make a new cover, or cut out the existing cover and put in some metal in there. But even this one is just, it's like got chunks missing, and there's another one getting ready to come off over there. But I'm noticing that along the edges of the belt, it's all worn away on the rubber, like it was sinking in, and it was just chewing it up. You can see it on this one here, where the rubber's all chewed up. It's just, the whole damn thing just disintegrated, and it's not very flexible anymore. It's like, it's case hardened or something. So I went and took out my spring thing, and I took these 2 nuts, came from the factory, so I put them on there on the top, and then they're jammed, 2 wrenches, and I jammed them together. And then I got my put my old nylock one back in there that was wiggling loose, because it's got a nice big broad support, and then I put my jam nut on it. And so I got all of these guys jammed down in there, so I don't think this thing will come loose. So now all the spring play will just be in this thing. So, and I don't know if that's correct or not, that it should be wiggling around that much. I'd called up the factory this morning, and nobody was at the, well, it was morning here. It was probably after lunch, just barely after lunch back there in New York. To ask them about the belt tension, because I had another scale I was going to use, or I did use it to check before I started chipping, because they say 10 pounds, 3/8 inch deflection, but it's like, okay, is it single belt, double belt? I'm assuming that it's 10 pounds each belt, but they don't say that, and that was what I was trying to get clear this morning. And so I took my little scale. It was a push scale, and so I was pushing it in, and okay, so it seemed like it was a little tighter than normal, so I backed it off just a hair, and locked everything down and went away with it. So well, that was with the old spring system in there. I didn't do it with well. Now luckily I had the old belts left over from the last time when they came off. Well, I didn't come when the nut came off the spring, and they were just sitting there doing nothing. So, but they're soft as an old leather, like an old house slippers. So I'm going to go see if I can find some belts. I don't think I'm going to use any more of these Best Torque belts. They say they're EDPM, and I'm not a fan of EDPM. When I was looking at getting whitewater raft, all the cheap ones are made out of EDPM, and the good ones are made from Hyperlon and some other good cloth with strength. So I'm going to see if I can find some belts with Kevlar reinforcing, and I'm either going to go with Carlisle or Timken. I think I'm going to stick with, American brands, American-made brands, and Carlisle and Timken, I believe, are the same company. I may have to find something else, or maybe another company out there that has some kind of Kevlar. But this thing, these chippers put a lot of strain on those belts, and I kind of wish they had another setup where they had those carbon fiber belts. Maybe I can go find one of those in there too. Something low stretch. I mean, let me show you something else here. Now this is my old 1960s. I got this thing probably in about 77, 76, and it was old then. And I just finished welding up a bracket and an extension, and my Amazon Kurt hitch just came a couple days ago, so I can tow it around my tractor because it's a real beast. But the belt in here, I've never changed it. You can see it. I had to put in a little pulley system in there, but that belt is like 60 years old, and it's got some cuts and stuff in it, but it still works. So I don't know. I brought my air hose out and I blew it out, and I find that if you take off this thing, take it off, and then stick your air hose way down into the gullet here, you can blow all the dust out. You may have to roll the drum around a couple times, but yeah, it's all cleaned off, and I'm going to stick it away for, I don't really have any limbs now until the next windstorm or the next clearing spree. I've got some limbs I want to prune up high. Some of them are bigger, so they'll be firewood, and some of the little ones I may just lay around. But if I get the new belts, I'll show you guys. So I just wanted to let you update you on that. That the new belts lasted about 3 hours, I think. No more than 3.5 hours. I've only got 10.5 hours on the machine now total. So yeah, I am not going to be knowing. I got to talk to the factory and see what they say. They're going to probably say, "Oh, my spring thing wasn't working right, or wasn't working right." But no, you saw it with the cover off there. It seemed to be fine. I was getting no dust. I was getting no stink. I think it's just too much heat built up inside here. So, but that's neither here nor there. I may come up with a video on the old WW grinder, going through a pile of a year's worth of my neighbor's grass clippings and leaves I've raked up from all over the place and brought home. So I should have a big pile of compost. So see you guys later.